I'm always delighted to be with Saul News. This has been such a leader in the conservative movement and the Republican Party.
Welcome to the Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for March 31st, 2023. An article from the New York Post states, how mRNA vaccines could target everything from cancer to the plague. The plague might not be something that keeps you up at night, but there are likely plenty of infectious diseases that do, and somewhere in the world scientists are working and getting amazingly close to developing mRNA-based vaccines that could potentially make the disease you fear the most obsolete. And that is just the tip of the iceberg. Several mRNA vaccines are in the works that will tackle everything from ovarian, colorectal, lung, and pancreatic cancers. Vaccines are even being developed for diseases that aren't threatening humans yet. The big one, of course, remains cancer. In fact, years before COVID became public enemy number one, the primary focus of mRNA researchers was creating a vaccine to treat cancer. But while cancer is a very different enemy than COVID, the lessons learned from the creation of a COVID vaccine have served as a sort of canary in the coal mine for the entire arena of mRNA vaccine research. And the lightning speed in which COVID vaccines were introduced could soon seem like a turtle's pace compared to what's coming next. An article from Fox News reports, more than 24 Democrats join GOP in opposing Biden gas stove ban. The House of Representatives approved an amendment with the help of 29 Democrats late Wednesday that would prevent the Department of Energy from implementing strict new regulations on gas stoves. The House voted 251 to 181 in favor of the amendment from Representative Gary Palmer, a Republican from Alabama, to a larger energy policy bill. Republicans have been looking to defend the use of gas stoves ever since the Consumer Product Safety Commission indicated it could ban gas stoves for health reasons. That idea was scrapped once it became exposed, but it was followed by a proposed Department of Energy regulation that would impose tough new energy efficiency standards for gas stoves. Representative Palmer told Fox News Digital, quote, despite all their words to the contrary, House Democrats are supportive of federal bureaucrats' attempts to ban gas stoves. By voting against my amendment to prevent the Department of Energy from implementing its anti-natural gas agenda, they have shown themselves to be complicit. Representative Palmer's amendment, if implemented, will stop Department of Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm from implementing the new regulations and would prevent similar rules from being introduced. And finally, Axios reports, Senate votes to repeal Iraq war authorization 20 years after invasion. The Senate on Wednesday voted 66 to 30 to repeal authorization for the use of force in Iraq more than 20 years after the U.S. invasion of the country. Congressional passage of the 2002 authorization for the use of military force gave President George W. Bush the authority to invade Iraq and topple the government of Saddam Hussein. The historic bipartisan vote moves to reassert Congress's power over the use of military force abroad. The repeal prevents any U.S. president from conducting attacks in Iraq without the prior approval of Congress. The last time an authorization of military force was repealed was in 1974. And that concludes your Saul's Newsstand News Rewind for March 31st, 2023. For more political news faster, visit saulsnews.com.